out walking the dogs. 6:45, Saturday morning, 25th of March. Got a train to catch. It can only mean one thing. I'm going to the Stitch Festival! So yes, lovely chat with the ladies on Zoom on Thursday. And a load of them said, well, why don't you just come? And I thought, there's absolutely no reason why I shouldn't just come. So, everything's booked. In the space of half an hour, I'd booked the train. I'd sorted the dogs out, got my ticket. Then I realised I made a mistake. I'd booked the ticket for Friday going down on the train. So I went back on and amended it. Well, there was a £10 admin fee, but they charged me 21 quid. So I wondered what was going on. The only seat available for an extra £11 plus a £10 admin fee was in first class. Breakfast on the train. So I was thinking on the way back, how am I going to show you the footage that I took at the Stitch Festival? So I thought the best thing to do would be to upload it and then to try and talk you through it and insert little bits. So I'm going to do a little bit of stop-starting. So that's why there's lots of editing together. So the first person I met was the lovely Cara, who is so mad. Now it was Cara on the Zoom call with Andrea, little pink lady's Zoom call on Thursday, who said, why are you thinking about coming to the Stitch Festival, Judi? Why don't you just come? So I did. Cara had come with the beautiful Denise, who is the sewing trolley dolly, and she is just the most beautiful person. Inside and out, and obviously Cara is as well. Both ladies just gorgeous too. And I got there, and I'd never met Cara in my life before, and I went, Cara, I'm here. And she said, I'm under the clock. Come and find me. I'm by Rainbow Fabrics. Well, I loved that. Rainbow Fabrics. Oh my gosh, it was just so lovely to see everybody from Rainbow Fabrics in person. And believe me, you've all seen their Instagram stories, and they are just the same in real life. So friendly. And my gosh, it was just so lovely to be able to see the rainbow fabrics that they have in stock and actually just touch them and feel them. It was a real treat. So here you are with my little bit of footage of walking around the Rainbow Fabrics stand. Hello, Rainbow Fabrics.
Hello.
You be on my YouTube channel? Yeah. So Rainbow Fabrics and on Tencel. Cara is making a purchase.
Yeah.
Denise is making a purchase.
Do I need to? I'm already.
And I need to make a purchase. So I need to make a purchase. Well, look at this. Look at this. I've got a Rainbow Fabrics bag. Now, what you won't know, everybody, is that I'm trying something different with my camera today. I've actually got my little screen tilted away from me, and I'm actually just going to tilt it a little bit further away from me. But it's in my sight enough so that when I'm holding something up, I can see that you can see it. And occasionally, if my eyes just glance to the side, it's just me checking that I'm actually in the screen. I bought one fabric from Rainbow Fabrics, and because I was on their mailing list, they gave me an extra 10%, but they had Tencel. Look at this Tencel. It is absolutely gorgeous. Or as my local radio presenter says, gorgeous. Is that not just gorgeous? It is so beautiful and it feels lovely on my face. I just love it. It's just bright, it's colourful, and that's one of the things I love about Rainbow Fabrics. They always have these beautiful, bright, vibrant, colourful fabrics. They gave me a lovely card. It says, thank you here, thank you. We hope you love your new fabrics. Thank you for supporting our small business. To say thank you, 15% off your next order with a discount code. Thank you ever so much, you lovely people at Rainbow Fabrics. They were offering Quality Street, and I said, no thank you, because I've given chocolate up for Lent. 2 weeks today, I may have chocolate. Whether I want it by then is another matter altogether. So let's see where I went to next. So from Rainbow Fabrics, we went over to the Jenny Stitches stand. Now, obviously, I went back to Jenny Stitches a few times because, as you all know, I'm on Jenny's blogger team. And I was actually wearing my new blogger post. I did check with Jenny first because the dress is, as you can see the pictures of me, it is absolutely the most gorgeous dress. And the number of people that said I look stunning in it. But as I said to Jenny, you'll see me coming, I'm so bright. And I really did feel bright. I felt like a ray of light yesterday. I hope the excitement and the happiness I got from the Stitch Festival yesterday is coming through on this vlog, because that's what I wanted it to do. So from Jenny's stand, we went over to, we just wandered into the centre of the festival, and we ran into Anna from You've Got Me in Stitches, and we ran into Jan, who I've now got her Instagram handle up, is Vida Preems, so I can now put that in. Sorry for looking at my camera there, but I knew, my phone there, that I knew that it was there. And the lovely Adele from Otter and Sage. So Adele from Otter and Sage, the lovely Jan, and Anna. Hi, with Cara, and we are out. Around this time, we also ran into Michelle from the Sewing Bunny. We ran into Claire from Stitch Hem Sew, Adele from Sew for Serenity. I'm sorry if I'm now looking up, it's because I tend to look up when I'm thinking. Adele from Sew for Serenity, and we also met the gorgeous Rachel from Rachel Makes. And Rachel, she came around with us a little bit of the time, which was absolutely delightful. From there, Anna had to go and get ready for the catwalk show. So the rest of us moved over to around the catwalk to try and get a really good spot so we could see all our friends going up and down the catwalk. Now, the catwalk show was absolutely fantastic, and it gave us the opportunity to see people like us making clothes, but then actually being the models, which was just the most wonderful opportunity for all of them. Now, I didn't film a lot of it, but I did film Angela from Devon Thread Tales, and I did film Anna. Now, I'm sorry if the footage is a long way out, and I'm sorry if it goes a bit fuzzy, but the cameras, because you're at a distance still, you've got them on the sort of the zoom in lens. I've managed to take off the camera shake, but I can't do anything about the blurs. Where every time they move, the picture went out of focus, so I've left in the best bits for you. So here we are, Anna and Angela strutting their stuff on that catwalk. I don't think I could have done it. They're very brave people. When we'd seen quite a few people on the catwalk, Adele and Claire Claire from Stitch Hem decided to move on. But then one of the ladies that had been on the catwalk, and I think she's called Claire, came up to me and said, "It's so lovely to see you, Judi. I watch your video." And I just thought, oh, that's so lovely. So we've got Claire here, going up and zooming out. Claire's just been on the catwalk. You just come to say hello because she watches me. Thank you so much, Claire. And she watches Cara, so Cara's there too. It's absolutely beautiful. Lovely to meet you. Take care. And I forgot to say that Rachel Makes said exactly the same thing. And please don't, if you ever see me out shopping around the country, wherever, just come and talk to me. I really don't mind. I think it's just lovely. And I'm doing the YouTube in a way that we can all bring each other together. So please come and talk to me. And if I'm not doing anything, we'll go and have a cup of tea. It's even better. We can have a really good catch up then. So Claire came and said hello, and then soon as Claire had gone, I said goodbye to Claire. I then saw the lovely Sue Hall, who I gave a shout out to on one of my last videos because she'd asked me a question, and she was there with her sister. Come, Sue and Jenny. Sue and Jenny, who watch me, and watch Coming Cara. Woo! And this is what the Stitch Festival is all about, is it not? It was just so lovely. I felt as if it put the fest into festival, because we were meeting people and we were happy, and there were the shops and everything there, but the number of people that I could meet and talk to, it just gave the event a complete different edge. And there was a gentle buzz of warmth and happiness throughout the whole building. I think it's the only way I can describe it, but it really did make the whole thing so special. No. We've run into the Specky Seamstress, and I have seen some of the most amazing binding, which has moved around, and I bet it's gone.
Which bit are you looking for?
There was one with buttons on.
Yeah, here you go.
I want the button one.
Rainbow buttons, yeah.
I need rainbow buttons.
Yeah.
And I need to get something for my friend Melanie, who I've just discovered is taking my dogs out for a walk.
Oh, well.
And I'm sad with Miss James.
This lovely lady. Sorry, I can show you some pictures.
We'll have pictures instead, Becky. We'll have pictures. I was looking for the rainbow buttons. Is that not just beautiful? Absolutely gorgeous. I really, really love it. It's just, the minute I saw it, it spoke to me, and I thought that is the sort of thing that I would like to have in randomly in my stash. And you won't be able to see, I don't think. I've just moved to the side, but just on my board, just here at the back, no, you can't see it. I've got some new racks I got from IKEA. They've got some new sort of like mesh racks that you can put on your pin clipboards. My friend Melanie decided to take Poppy and Maggie out for a walk. In fact, I got a message that said, we've dog napped them. So I bought Melanie some presents. I bought this that she can put maybe on her grandson's jumpers that she might make him. It's dinosaur binding. Is that not just the most gorgeous binding ever? I just adore it. Then I found dinosaur labels for her. Is that not just so cute? And then I've got 2 more here. I'm actually going to keep, I think I'm going to give this one to Melanie. This is for her to put on clothes for Olivia because Olivia starts school. And I've just got this one here, just in case I make anything for anybody's little one. It's not just so beautiful. Actually, you know, if I got my act together, I could get the embroidery machine out and I could actually tape this in my embroidery ring and I could embroider across it. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? In that big ring I've got that I can actually tape things down. I've got that big square ring. I can put some of the Pellon FS101 in it and then tape it down with some Kimberbell tape. I could embroider straight onto that. And then we went to By Hand London. This is By Hand London, and she's selling off her patterns, all the different dresses up here. The Elite Select dress is absolutely gorgeous. I really like that. It's talking to me for Natalie's wedding, is that? That is definitely talking to me. Do you have that one?
This one is...
I got to talk to Elite Selects. I did not get all fangirly. Whew. But oh my gosh, she's delightful. Oh gosh, yes, she is lovely. And I did buy some patterns from By Hand London, which I'll show you in a minute. And it was lovely to talk to Elite Selects. I had a chat with her about where she's moving the business forward, and that was super interesting to talk to her about that. Quite a privilege. And I felt that this particular event, compared to the Knitting and Stitching show, the environment allowed you to have these discussions and these informal chats with people. It gave you access to the creators. So for somebody, you know, like all of us that are just household sewists, we can talk and engage with these people, and it was just wonderful because they want to talk to you, because they want to find out what your likes and dislikes are as well. We wandered on round the upper balcony, which we called the Indie Business Village, and I came to the Trend Patterns stand. I'm just going to let the camera run for a while because it does actually tell you what I've bought, and I've put a little bit of footage in there showing you an overview of the Stitch Festival. So one of the lovely things coming to a show like this is you pick up people that we don't normally see. So we just walked all the way around the top floor, all the way around, met some absolutely lovely people. And I've just come across Trend Patterns. And I have to say, I'm completely ignorant. I had no idea they're a London-based company. So here we are, Trend Patterns. And they've got a whole lovely range of samples. And I have just bought the twist dress, which is this one here. One of the most exciting people to see during the Stitch Festival, and just wandering around it, was the delightful Tilly Warnes, who is Tilly and the Buttons. But I was at her stand, and this is what happened. Just been down at Tilly's stand, and picked up the cafe patterns, picked up the Coralie patterns, swimming costume, and the background. It's lovely. Hello, Judi. Sewing Bear 27. Sewing Bear 27. My Postcard Exchange friend. It's the lovely Claire, who is Sewing Bear 27, and Claire was my Postcard Exchange partner for the In a Haystack Sewing postcard swap. I haven't had a postcard. I did put my name in, but I remember, at least I sent mine. That's the main thing. And Claire loved the postcard that I sent her. I sent her one from Joel and Son. I got a load of free postcards from there many years ago, and I thought, I want a sewing postcard for my postcard swap. So I sent it to her. From there we went upstairs, past the Fabric Godmother stand, which was amazing. I've eyeballed some fabric up there for when she's got her next discount code run, and I just hope to goodness she hadn't discounted everything for the show. Otherwise, I've scored myself a home. Little Fabric Godmother here. Very lovely fabrics and things. I'm very tempted with the Toko magazine. before we did a last sweep of the haul, where I didn't do any more footage, we came to the lovely stand at Tessuti Patterns. Oh, those ladies are delightful. We were there for ages just chatting to them. This is one of my absolute favourites, Tessuti.
That's why. So it doesn't.
I love Tessuti. I love
stretch.
it out.
It's got this perfect flat neckline.
1980.
Go on, I'm going to do it because I've got some lovely fabric to make it in.
There you go.
I was going to make, I was going to make a Nino jacket by Alice, Pauline Alice, but I'd much rather do that, having seen it. So we are about to say goodbye to the Stitch Festival for 2023. We've had a ball. There's been fabric shops that we've not gone to and fabric shops that we have gone to. There's been loads of lovely people that we've met.
We're doing vlogging next to each other here. It's absolutely classic. So I'm saying bidding
Farewell. Farewell.
That's fantastic. We've had the best time.
We've had a wonderful time.
Absolutely amazing.
You're saying goodbye, Denise? Bye. And following that, we said our goodbyes and we left the British Design Centre. I then took a lovely walk back to King's Cross. I called into a well-known branch of a coffee retailer, bought myself a skinny latte and walked down Pentonville Road back to King's Cross. I did buy a couple of things, as you've already seen. Came across a lovely lady called Claire Tyler Couture. She had on her stand tulip needles. Now, I've never seen tulip needles before. Hope those... This is because I've not got my screen in front of me. I've just checked. I'm going to leave that in. There you go. You can tell I've not got my screen in front of me. I'm just going to have a look to the side. Yep, they're the right way round. So these needles are Japanese needles and they've been polished further down the shaft to improve the smoothness of the needle. Now, one is a quilting needle and one is a piecing needle. Now, piecing will be for when I do my patchwork, and it is an 8, and I've got a standard sewing needle as well, which is 7. So the piecing needles, I hope I'll be able to use when I'm doing my hand piecing patchwork. I don't know what they're going to be like, but I'm up for trying something new. They weren't cheap, but I hope that they are smooth. Then, of course, I had to go and visit Caroline at Little Rosie Cheeks, didn't I? So Melanie knows I've got these. These are Melanie's absolutely favourite labels. These are the Made by Nana labels. Now, I know I bought a couple of things for Melanie, but she did take my dogs out for a walk and she did come and give them a breakfast. But then I discovered it was Little Rosie Cheek that had the little scissors that were in the Fabric Godmother Advent Calendar. So I bought myself a pair. I bought Lorianne's, she's seen them as well. And she said, are they strawberries? And I went, no, they're Lorianne, they're love hearts. Look, can you see? There you are, Lorianne, love heart scissors. I'm peering down the side now to make certain I can see what it is. But can you see? Aren't they just beautiful? And I should be able to take these, where are mine gone? Should be able to take these on the aeroplane when I go to Oregon for my little bit of a segue. Friday Sews. Now I know it's Sunday, but Friday Sews isn't just about what you've been making and what you've been doing, it's also a bit of a theme. And this week's theme is your favourite pattern decade. So I thought, oh, this could work quite nicely today, because the main thing that I bought at the Stitch Festival were patterns. And the reason I bought a lot of patterns was simply because they were there to be seen. And I thought, whoa, this is really good. I can see all these patterns. I can see what they're going to look like when they get made up. And let's go for it. So the first pattern I'm going to show you is literally as they're coming into my hands. Trend Patterns. This is their twist dress. And as you'll have seen, I showed that on the vlog. On the footage from the actual show. I did buy a new pattern from Tillys Buttons, and until it comes out, I think that's all I can do with it. I think I might be able to go, woohoo! I think everybody knows what it's called, but I'm not going to say it. I'm going to be very good. But I've also bought the Coralie swim costume. I've always wanted to make a swimming costume, and I ummed and ahed about buying this one last year. And these shows have a lot of deals on patterns, which is why I went heavily on the patterns. So I have bought this one. Now I did actually buy it directly from Tilly, so I did have a chat with her, but it was at her stand. And I was saying to her, we were talking about the amount of stretch required, and I said, and it is laid out in the pattern, isn't it? And she said, yes, you need 50% either way. And I said, yeah, but the biggest problem is finding it. And she said, I can tell you where you can get it. The Fabric Godmother have some of 50% either way. And I went and had a look at it, and they do. And that's what I'm going to sort of eye up just in case they might have a sale. I then went to the By Hand London stand, excuse me for looking to the side, and I bought the Tamzin dress. Now, these are oversized patterns, the Tamzin dress and the Anna dress. And what I've done is I have bought these in slightly bigger sizes because I've got the instructions, but I was also able to secure the tissue for my size. So I've got those two as well. So I also made a purchase at Jenny's stand. I bought the plateau joggers pants and some jersey to make them in. I'm having a little procedure and I will need to have soft trousers. Tessuti Patterns Leon jacket. Now I saw this one being modelled on the catwalk and it is beautiful. And I don't know, I'm just going to zoom this in here and hopefully you can see just here there is a dart on the neck. Now I spoke at length to a lovely lady on that stand, and it is her grandmother that actually designs the patterns. And we were talking about removing that dart. And for the one that was worn on the catwalk, that's what they'd done. They'd actually removed the dart. So I need to go back to my pattern drafting books and just double check how to remove the dart. And that's what I'll be doing, because if you remove the dart, you've got the perfect box jacket pattern. And the one they had was perfect. And I think that's what I'm going to use to make with my beautiful fabric that I got from Fabworks. Now, patterns from a favourite decade. It's really interesting, isn't it, as to know which is your favourite decade for patterns and which is my favourite decade for patterns, because obviously I've been sewing for so long, and the first time I picked up a paper pattern to make something will have been in the late 60s, and I can't remember it. And after that, it was about 1973, and we had this blouse from Style Patterns that Miss Steele, who was doing sewing for those of us in the equivalent of year 5. And it was a semi-set-in sleeve and it was elasticated round the neck. And I thought Style Patterns were the bee's knees. Now you can't get it. Was Style, Simplicity, Butterick, Vogue, Mordella. I think that was it at the time. And I thought that was the bee's knees. I thought that was the pattern I had to have. Then Burda Patterns came out in the late 70s and I thought, oh, quite like these. They didn't have seam allowances on in those days. And obviously then I went to Vogue and I used a Vogue pattern to make my wedding dress. The pattern is buried away. I'm really sorry I haven't got that out. But in the 1980s, before I got married, I made this dress. Now this is not the pattern I used. It's not, because it has not been cut. I bought this second hand a few years ago because I wanted a copy of the pattern, and it was called the Belleville Sassoon Ruffled Princess, and I made it in 1985 because it was not long before I met David, and I loved it. And there was a Vogue pattern magazine that was out at the time, and it had loads of patterns in. There was a pattern I did for a blouse, and it had vertical pleats down here, and then it had lots of horizontal. So talk about, when they did the origami challenge a few years ago on the sewing bee, I loved it. And I desperately tried to find the pattern again and I couldn't. So maybe I liked the 80s. Yeah. But the 90s was just all very samey for the 80s. But when we got to the noughties, Vogue started to bring out these, which were the replica patterns. And now, throughout my time of sewing, when what I call the wilderness years, I had one thing that was like gold dust to me. Vogue Pattern magazine. I'm pretty certain this magazine doesn't exist anymore. And I have this one copy which is really precious because this coat here is this coat here, which became this coat here. Is that not just amazing? All from here. Now, this is autumn 2003. And at the back here, in the classified ads, I've just had a little look, excuse me. We have got Fabricland, we've got Leons and Barry's, we've got Duttons for Buttons. I'm looking for companies that are still going. And these are the days when if you wanted anything, you had to, for mail order, telephone. And here is my coat in the middle. And it was that I used to make my coat. So that was, I mean, but even in this magazine then, I cannot say that there were a lot of patterns because they did pages like this. And I used to think, well, they're okay, but they're not really inspiring me. The choice of patterns that we now have, in my opinion, this is my opinion, nobody else's, in my opinion, that we have now from the indie pattern ranges are absolutely fantastic. There are new things coming out all the time, and patterns that are drafted these days are easy to hack, much easier to hack. The pattern pieces are clearer. They are much easier to handle. I love the paper, the tissue paper patterns. These patterns here are all very well, but if you've not got that flat, you can slip on your fabric and you can make a miscut. My favourite era for patterns? I don't think I've really got one. I am enjoying how patterns are continuing to evolve. But it's really important I say 2 thank yous now. The first one is to the lovely Jan, and the other one is to the lovely Annette, to say thank you for your gift of a coffee. It's so very much appreciated. I want to say thank you to all of you that have watched and subscribed to my channel in the last week. It is amazing. And for all the lovely comments on the regalia blouse, have blown me away. Now I'm going to say thank you so much for watching. If you love what you see, hit the subscribe button, and when that comes up there's a little bell. If you touch the little bell, it'll tell you next time I have a vlog out. Give me a like, give me a comment, send me a message. There is an email address in my description box. For now, thank you so much, and I'll be back next week with another, hopefully, episode of Friday Sews with my Leslie blouse made for So Frugal. I'll see you all then. Take care. Bye bye.